We have been in touch with Buckinghamshire Council, and like Martin says, there is a response and a suggestion that there could be light at the end of the tunnel. What have they said, please, Ollie?
Yeah, they sent us quite a lengthy statement, but there's a lot of detail in this, so we'll go through it all if you don't mind. Buckinghamshire Council say they're not the owner of the site. They say, we stepped in and installed the scaffolding on an emergency basis to protect the public because the building was unsafe, and they couldn't identify the responsible owner. Since then, the council has actively explored all available avenues to establish responsibility for the property, and in absence of a resolution to that, they've worked to find an alternative way forward. They've now made progress by entering into an agreement with a third party who is seeking to take ownership of the site. Discussions with developers have continued this week, and a revised structural engineer's design has now been submitted to support remedial work to the property. The design is currently being reviewed, and if approved, work can begin on the site to support the remaining structure. This will help us move towards reopening the footpath in front of the property when safe to do so.
Ollie, thank you very much indeed. I just want to say on that first line where they go, we stepped in and installed the scaffolding on an emergency basis. That was 8 years ago, loves. And seriously, I hope you've changed your scaffolder, because I do query, do they know what they're doing? It looked like something the Tate Gallery would put up as a form of art. 8 years it's been in position. Surely you could have tidied up a little bit. I know it's got to be up there, but honestly, it's a mess. Anyway, that's their statement. Let's talk now to Laura Kyrke-Smith, who is the Labour MP for Aylesbury. Good morning to you, Laura.
Good morning, Andy.
Thanks for joining us on the show. It feels, it's still up there, but it feels like there might be progress here, Laura.
It does, doesn't it? Now, I don't quite dare to celebrate that progress until I've seen something.
Absolutely.
That final confirmation in writing from Buckinghamshire Council, which I've not seen yet. But like you, I understand there has been some really significant progress in the last, few months, since all of this fantastic campaigning has been going on from people like Charles de Boulay there, who you'd spoken to. I think in the last few weeks, we've started to see some real progress. My understanding is that there is a developer that is willing to take this on. They are ready. They are still waiting the final bits of paperwork and permissions from the council, but they're ready to go. As you say, you can see some of that preparatory work's been done already. So we just need that paperwork signed off, and then they can crack on.
You must get asked about the scaffolding in any surgeries that you do, or emails or letters, because everybody talks about it in Aylesbury. It is a monument, but it's a real eyesore as well. So you must be inundated with people going, when is the scaffolding getting sorted?
Oh, I am. And I couldn't help smiling at some of your excellent report there. But the fact is, you drive past it or you walk past it and your heart sinks. It is an eyesore, but it's also the danger. It's when you see those people on their mobility scooters, and people like Linda Bell, who I know you've spoken to previously, who, you see them forced to swerve out onto the road to get round it. The mums and the dads pushing the babies in prams. So it's an eyesore, but it's also dangerous. And like Giles has said there are things that could have been done a lot sooner, like a crossing, like doing that remedial work just to the scaffolding to make sure that there's a walkway that goes through there. None of this has happened. So we've been sitting on this eyesore and this danger for too long. To me, it is, I'm afraid, another example of the council dragging its feet, and just a sign of the sort of the disregard, I think, in which they hold Aylesbury and the town centre.
Well, this is a good point, because Mina's been in touch, one of our listeners. Do we know how much the scaffolding has cost the taxpayer? That's a fair point, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fair point. I don't know the answer to that, but look, it's been there for 8 years. I know they've had to keep checking on the safety of it. There will have been some ongoing cost associated with that. But look, credit where credit's due. If we are about to see some progress, then I will certainly be celebrating that, and I know so many of our residents will be as well.
Another resident of Aylesbury has been in touch. Paul, he goes, can we discuss the elephant in the room, even when the scaffolding's gone? There's work to be done, enforcing the double yellow lines that the delivery drivers ignore as they park halfway on the pavement all the way along that road. He's got a point, hasn't he? It seems like you could park wherever you like in that part of the world. That bus stop, forget it being a bus stop, it's an NCP.
Yeah, I've had lots of people actually write to me about those delivery drivers. And you're right. The scaffolding is just the first step, isn't it? But if we can get that done, that is certainly progress. But actually, the other thing that worries me on this, so there is planning permission for that site. I think it's 5 residential units that we've got the permission for from the council. So that's in place. But my understanding is that that will expire in May next year. So that permission was granted back in 2024, but it's a 3-year time frame. So if this isn't sorted, I mean, goodness, let's hope it's sorted by then. But if this isn't sorted and the work hasn't started by May next year, then we're back to square one in terms of that planning permission on the site. And you're right, there's all that other work that's going to need to be done on the road and the surrounding pavement and road as well.